Study objective number 5, so general ledger processes. Ano nga ba yung general ledger processes natin? So, it represents the record-keeping system for a company's financial data na kung saan andun yung debit and credit account records na nakavalidate naman siya by a trial balance. The general ledger provides a record of each financial transactions that takes place during life of an operating company. Tayo sa transaction, kung saan lahat is nire-record natin siya sa nire-record natin siya sa special journal kung saan nakapaloob dito yung sales, purchase, cash receipts, cash disbursements, and payroll. Nire-record din natin siya sa general journal. Then, nire-record din natin siya also in subsidiary ledger na kung saan nakapaloob naman dito yung accounts receivable, accounts payable, inventory, and the payroll. Pagtapos natin siya i-record lahat, ipopost naman natin siya dito sa general ledger, then i-prepare to the trial balance, then journalize and post adjusting entries, prepare financial statements, and journalize and post to closing entries. Study objective number 6, risk and control in general ledger processes. So, risk and control is the set of methods by which firms evaluate potential losses and take action to reduce or eliminate such threats. Risk control does help companies limit lost assets and income. Risk control is also a key component of companies' enterprise risk management protocol. Control naman is nandito yung authorization of transactions. This is a debit or credit card purchase for which the merchant has received approval from the bank that issued the customer's payment card. This process involves the cardholder and numerous other entities working together to complete an electronic transaction. Dito lang pumapasok yung risk ng fraud and errors. Sa segregation of duties naman is a basic building block of sustainable risk management and internal controls for a business. The principle of segregation of duties is based on shared responsibilities of a key process that disperses the critical functions of the process to more than one person or department. Sa risk naman niya is dun sa theft and fraud. Get records and documents naman is napopost siya to wrong accounts. Then security of the general ledger and documents, risk of invalidity, fraud, and errors. Then, independent checks and reconciliation. Pumapasok din dito yung sa risk niya is dun sa fraud and errors. The objective number 7, reporting as an output of the general ledger processes. The information in the general ledger accounts provide important feedback for both internal and external parties. External parties such as investors and creditors use summarized accounting data in the general purpose financial statements to evaluate business performance. Internal managers need financial and non-financial feedback for proper planning and control of operations. Internal managers need much more frequent and detailed reports than external users. Tayo sa reporting concepts, which are the external and internal reporting. So, external reporting, that the four general purpose financial statements are the balance sheet, income statement, statement of cash flows, and statement of retained earnings. These are created from the general ledger account balances. These financial statements are generated at the end of the accounting cycle. The dollar amount Amounts reported are all derived from the general ledger account balances. Usually, accounts are combined and summarized when reported in general purpose financial statements. External users do not need detailed balance information on every existing account in the general ledger. For example, is a large company may have several ledger accounts for various type of cash and cash equivalents. These individual cash accounts are combined or rolled up into $1 amount reported as cash on balance sheet. This same summary process occurs for all the lines items on the general. Function of corporate governance processes are management oversight, internal controls and compliance, financial stewardship, and ethical conduct. Each of these functions is applicable to the administrative and reporting process, as this process must include the proper corporate governance structure in order to properly deter instances of fraud, theft, misuse, or manipulation of administrative resources and reports. The systems, process, and internal controls described in this chapter are part of corporate governance. When management design and implements administrative processes, it assigns responsibility for executing the related capital, investments, and general ledger functions to various employees. It must be mindful of the risk of stolen or misused capital, alteration of documents or reports, and other frauds in this process. Accordingly, it must also implement and monitor internal controls to minimize this risk. As management considers these assignments and monitors the underlying processes and controls, is carrying out its corporate governance function of proper management oversight and internal controls and compliance. Thank you for listening.